I'll be speaking on I'll be speaking on training the hands. Training the hands. Now, there are certain trainings the Lord can give to your hands. Yes, He can train your hands to war. That's a large battle. He can also train your fingers to fight. That's a small battle. And He can teach your hands to give. That is having dominion over money. So I'm going to explain this theory. Remember, the title is Training the Hands. So God can train your hands to war, He can train your fingers to fight, and He can train your hands to give. Now, let me explain what it means when God trains your hand to war. Now, training your hands to war is when God prepares you to face a larger battle. Are you there? For instance, a territorial battle. Maybe you have numerous people coming against you. For you to overcome such an attempt, you will need God to train your hands to war. So when God begins to train our hands to war, He is preparing us for a larger battle. Battle from different sources that we cannot even trace. For you to overcome such battles, you need your hands to be trained for war. So the training of our hands for war is a preparation that God brings us into in order for us to cope with larger battles, uncountable numbers of enemies. You know, when you see great men like Daddy Adeboye, what do you think? People like that, they have uncountable enemies. The same way they have uncountable lovers, they also have uncountable enemies. Those that want to see them dead, those that want to see him dead. He has a lot of them, and he also has a lot of people that are praying for him too. So how do you think he's able to survive? God has trained his hands to war. So before you become great, God will train your hands to war, because in that position of greatness, you will have uncountable enemies. So if your hands are not trained to war, you may become a victim of one of those enemies. The second training the Lord can give to your hands is that He can train your fingers to fight. Now, the training of the fingers to fight is a preparation for small battle. Maybe before you become great, you know, you may have few enemies here and there, the countable ones, maybe two or three, four or five. In that case, for you to overcome, God has to train your fingers to fight, because at the current level you are in, you don't have much enemies. So your fingers is enough to fight them. But when the enemy increases by the level of your increase in the spirit, God will need to train your hands to war. So the first thing God does is to train your fingers to fight. After training your fingers to fight, you know, at that point you can overcome few enemies, but not in a large number. So the moment God brings you into greatness, then He trains your hand to war, because He knows now your enemies have increased, the battles have increased. Are you there? Then the third thing is that God can teach your hands to give. Anytime you see God asking you to give this one, give this one, give this clothes, give this shoe. Don't spend this money, give it out. This food, don't eat it. Give it to that your friend that is hungry. Give out your car. Give out your house. Can't you see this man of God is suffering? Give him something. Do this. Give that. Give. Anytime you see God bringing instruction in the direction of giving, just know that He is trying to give you dominion over money. How God brings us into dominion over money is by teaching our hands to give. If you are not a giver, it means you cannot have dominion over money. I pray the Lord will help us in the name of Jesus.